Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. And this is the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle Studio? Do you know I never know where I am, but I always end up where I'm supposed to be? Isn't that ghastly? The other day, my good Julia Fox, met me with her friend Mallory at a museum that was masquerading as an art gallery. We immediately found ourselves at the open bar, where they served us Prosecco in recycled jars. There was a man playing the harp, and a woman playing violin, and a portrait of David Bowie on Mars hung behind them. Mallory was transfixed on a photograph of Iggy Pop's dick, and Julia was bouncing up and down on a pogo stick that she had stolen from a hired clown. And that's when I turned around and found him there, wearing a cowboy hat over his tousled hair. "You don't scare me, you don't scare me," I cried to my endoplasmic lover from the other side. And Julia cried, "Who are you talking to? I don't understand." And I said, "Don't you see him standing there? He's the ghost of a Texas ladies' man." And then I vomited. Welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle Studio? Today's guests are wise beyond their years because they were born before we were even here. One invented that, and the other one's a whore. And just when you think they're finally going to retire, they stick around and punish us with more. But like good little masochists, we welcome the pain because these two dames are at the top of the game, and God knows they'll do anything for fame, even on their bad knees. From squeeze box to wig stock to bingo at truck stops, these battling bitches stay on top. And they deserve the titles legend and icon because somehow they're both still hanging on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Laurel and Hardy of drag. One's a bitch and the other one's a hag. And I'm gonna need a lot more wine because today we've got Jackie Beat and Sherry Vine.
Wait, am I the
hag? I love Jackie's just like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into?
That was beautiful.
Was it? Oh my God.
No, it was.
Stop.
I'll take whore, but hag?
I thought you all used to text each other that. What did you call each other?
Yeah.
The counting J's?
Yeah, we have a matching tattoo.
That's our production company.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because when you would try to text, it would come out count.
Don't whisper.
This is
whisper.
a TV show. For kids. I didn't know. Okay.
What child would watch this? What parent would let their child watch this?
It's
So
the
when you would
purple.
text-
The purple's very attractive.
When you
to
would
the
text
children.
cunt, it would come out count. And for some reason, hag would come out J. So our production company is Count J.
Well, we are so happy to have the Count J's here with us today because these two bionic bitches came straight from the hospital. Can I tell you, Jackie Beat has had 2 hip replacement surgeries, one of which I donated to. You're welcome. And Sherry just had a knee replacement surgery like yesterday. And you're here.
Well, I had both my hips done at the same time.
Oh, did
So you actually donated to both. Yes.
Jinx.
You owe me some coke.
It's your fault. You owe me a mall.
We're at the age where we're replacing body parts.
I love your joke when you say the reason is because we paved the sidewalks that we are walking on. Do you really attribute these injuries to all the years spent in these high heels?
Yes.
Absolutely,
For me, there's
100%.
No question.
Right.
I think mine was just bad genes and being morbidly obese.
When do you think you're going to die, and how do you think you're going to die?
Oh, God.
I think I'm going to be 82.
Really?
And I'm going to die of embarrassment.
What? That would have happened.
That would have already
years
happened,
ago.
honey.
That's true.
I do feel like I'm going to make it to 90 and then just feel like I'm done.
I think you will too.
Only because most of the
Honey,
people in
you're
my
done
family-
now.
Overdone. Hey, listen, I think you're going to go to the same trajectory as Cher and Dolly Parton. I think it's going to be Cher, Dolly Parton, and Sherry Vine. I mean, come on. You know, you're going to withstand the test of time.
Well, whenever
Jackie and I are not. I'm going to
No.
get dementia full on if I don't already have it.
I don't know, you memorized that entire intro.
Actually, that was just off the top of my head.
Okay, well, I want that kind of dementia.
Right? And did you know that they recently started putting QR codes on tombstones? So people can go by and little drag queens years from now can go to your tombstones and use QR codes and Wikipedia you.
Do you know who Gypsy is?
Gypsy
Drag queen-
Rose Lee?
No, drag queen Gypsy. She used to have a place here in L.A.
Oh, she did Lacage out here.
Lacage.
Oh, that was
Anyway-
before I got here.
Okay. Anyway, she's 93,
Shut up.
and were you there at New Year's Eve with her in Palm Springs?
It might have been
the year
It
I
was her
wasn't there.
90th birthday.
Amazing.
And she came, and of course, like, no cane, nothing. Like, walking, got on stage, did her act.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sitting there just like, that's what I want to.
That's what you're gonna be doing.
That's amazing.
And I love that you still love doing drag as much as you did when
Oh
you
my
first
God.
started. I
Girl,
think
I
that's
wouldn't do it
amazing.
if I didn't.
And I'm glad that you were looking at her when you said that.
Well,
'cause
because
that
I
is-
know we all know the tea. with
No, let
this
me
one.
say something about
She has a
Gypsy.
mortgage
She's been
to pay,
threatening
honey.
to retire for years.
Let me say something about Gypsy. When Divine got a male role on Married with
Married with
Children and
Children.
died the
Yes.
day
The
before,
night before, they found the script right next to her.
they called
body.
Gypsy, and Gypsy filled in.
Amazing.
Obviously not the same, but still
love that.
legendary.
And she has the best stories because it was back in a day where, at Lacage here in LA, where every celebrity went, and like she was really good friends with Lucille Ball. Like they played cards together and stuff. And she's like, I went into her dressing room because I was like, girl, can I bother you? I need stories. She's like, I got stories, and I
got
sat there and
stories.
it was just like this. And I'm like, tell me about Lucille. She's like, okay, there was one table, and that table was brought out and put in the front, like you see in like the 1940s, you know, for Lucille Ball, Alana Turner. That was it. And I'm like,
But now
Lana
you all
Turner showing up.
realize, like there are like kids like this to you all nowadays. You know what I mean? Doesn't
Well,
that
I
feel,
must say,
like,
before
cool?
Drag Race, when there was 7 of us, I talk about this all the time.
Yes.
You know, it was like me, Sherry. I almost said Jackie. Me, Jackie, twice.
Jackie
No, it was
Vine
like
and
me,
Sherry B.
Sherry, Lady Bunny, Varla Jean Merman, Coco Peru. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was 7 of us. This was before Drag Race.
Exactly.
When I traveled, these queens would bring, they were like, oh, come back, look at my makeup station. And they would have a picture or a flyer or a CD or something of mine. This is how I learned how to do makeup.
Isn't it?
And I'm like,
You
don't
were the-
blame me, bitch.
Don't blame me. But you were the stamp of makeup. You were kind of, you know how everyone like you had the Raven and you had the Trixie, but before Raven and Trixie there was Jackie Beat because you would see that silhouette of the
It's
painting.
the hard crease
And
that
you
nobody
knew.
was doing, the really big
Yes.
black wing, and then the sort of ombre lip
Yes.
to make your lips look bigger. Because I have no lips.
No, I don't know.
but I have to say, like, even before the look kind of transitioned into this, because then there was a period in the mid 90s where she did this like pencil thin whisper of eyebrow and like paint. It was glam.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
not
I remember
like
the
this, it
real
was, like,
skinny
glam.
eyebrow.
No, that's because
And
I
it
will.
was
Especially.
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
God, I almost interrupted you saying I was gorgeous for a brief period. No, let me just say that's because when I was in New York, I kind of wanted to serve LA, so it was Chola adjacent.
Yes.
Which of course I couldn't do today because that would be cultural appropriation and I would get
Well, I
stabbed
remember when
to
I very
death.
first saw you, what it reminded me of so much was like those awesome videos that Yaz used to do, Alison Moyet. Like you totally had an Alison Moyet vibe.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Because you also, the thing is you have an amazing singing voice. And so the parodies are hilarious. But I mean, you sing the shit out of "And I Am Telling You." I mean, it's so good.
Well, I've talked about this before. There have been times where after a show, somebody will be like, "Oh my God, you can really sing," and I'm like, "Thank you," and they're like, "No, I mean, you can really sing."
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I think that's why it works. If you're going to make fun of something or do a parody or a satire of it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Someone can do a parody, and if they have a bad voice, you just accept it because it's a parody. But you're like, oh, this one actually.
Now you're talking. Now we're back to me.
No, but I feel like they're
no one has come up to me after the show and been like, oh,
you
my
have an
God,
amazing.
you can really
well, now
sing.
I'm going to say
you're funny.
Your Judy Garland number in your 60th show, girl, that was
10 years ago.
No, just the other day.
I know, I'm just kidding. I want to finish my point.
Yes.
They act as if I'm throwing my gift away. Like, you can really sing. Why are you singing about cock and poop?
Right.
And it's like, comedy is the best gift you can give people.
Exactly. So the Transvestigation Unit at the Kelly Mantle Show wants to know. The two of you do sing a lot of parodies about pooping. I have to know, have either of you ever pooped at a show before?
Why are you glaring?
On stage.
Why are you glaring at me?
I don't know. The Transvestigation Unit would like to know, has this ever occurred with you?
I feel like maybe you're talking about a recent appearance at Chill Bar in Palm Springs.
What happened?
Well, first of all, Becky Peach from Legendary, who is amazing. Like, the moment I'm like, oh, I don't like body hair, you need to tuck. Like, I have all these rules. Girl, that body, like...
Serving.
Yes, and not tucked, and the best of both worlds, and like turns it out, and the dance moves. So anyway, her numbers are usually like fucking 9 or 10 minutes long. And I'm always complaining about that. So I was hosting Drag Brunch, and she was the last performer, and right before I introduced her, I felt like, oh, this is an emergency.
The gurgle.
Yes.
No.
So I shouldn't be telling this story. Did Gabe tell you this?
No.
Gabe was with me. So anyway, I said, how long is your number? And she's like, 3.5 minutes. I was like, what? I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Becky Peach. I run into the bathroom and I start taking everything off.
Please tell me you turned the microphone off.
Yes, I did, I think.
Okay, good.
So I'm in this bathroom, and thank God nobody was in there, and there was this big private stall, but it wasn't a private bathroom that you could close and lock the door. Right. Girl, I'm trying to take off girdle, old school Rago brand, Google it, R-A-G-O. 2 pairs of pantyhose. I didn't make it.
No.
So all the disgusting clothes went into a bag. I had to clean up the floor. I cleaned myself up. The song is going, and I'm like, I have 3.5 minutes. I know I shouldn't be telling this story.
Oh my God. Good. Why did I even ask?
And then I had to clean up the floor and the bathroom. And then I run out there with my Peg Bundy wig on, a Hawaiian shirt, and shorts. And I said, you're probably wondering, let's hear it for Becky Peach. You're probably wondering why I am dressed the way I am. Well, I have a 2-hour drive back to Altadena. So I just decided, and then I was selling merch.
Oh my God.
It was horrible.
There was not a meet and greet after?
There's another part of the story that it's so bad I can't even bring it up.
What? Do bring it up.
There was something on my hand.
Shut up. When you got back?
We were in the car.
No.
And Gabe was like, what is that?
No.
And I said, it's makeup. And he's like, you're not wearing any brown makeup. And I said, pink and green, when you mix it together, it's brown. He's like, no, it isn't.
No.
I'm a makeup artist.
Merch and everything with poop
on her hand.
And Gabe is such a hateful person. He took a picture of me from behind in my shorts and my Hawaiian shirt with the Peg Bundy wig. Anyway.
Oh my God, that makes me laugh so hard. I've never done it on stage.
Legendary. I wonder what Divine would be doing now if she were still alive. Do you ever wonder that?
I wonder stuff like that all the time.
I know. Isn't it wild? I wonder what she would have thought of this. But where drag is now, though, the way it's come into the mainstream, if you had a choice, would you keep it? Would you do it the way it is now, or would you go back to the way it was?
When we started doing drag, It was because there was a passion. The concept of making money, getting rich or famous was not possible.
Out of the
question. So you did drag because you had a passion and a calling for it.
You lost money.
Right.
Yeah.
And we worked 5 gigs a night to pay rent in New York
Literally.
City.
I know.
So it was that.
Yeah.
That's how much we loved doing it. So now the fact that I love that it's become that you can make money and there's people.
Yeah.
You could be a drag queen on television and movies and music or whatever. I mean, RuPaul's Drag Race has certainly opened many, many, many doors. And why wouldn't I want to do that? I mean, it's fun sleeping on a futon in your 20s and not in your 60s. So fuck that. I want to make money doing what I love doing.
I love that it's, mainstream and more popular, but there is a price. And what bothers me is that there's the occasional person on that show. Mm-hmm. And I know this is judgmental and that all drag is valid, but sometimes there was one person in particular, I'm not going to say their name, and I was like, that's not a drag queen. Oh. Like, I know that's terrible to say because who am I to... But that was not... I just looked at it, I said, that's not a drag queen. That is a Broadway dancer boy who is slumming and thinking, oh, I'll just watch a makeup tutorial and I'll do drag, and... I don't know. It just bothers me.
The transvestigation unit at the Kelly Mantle Show wants to know. Could you be referring to...
No. This person
all right, well,
in the finale did a reveal, and guess what they revealed?
What?
Dusty Rose crushed stretch velvet. Like, wow, how outrageous is that? Anyway, it looked like an elephant's scrotum. Anyway, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble.
My God.
Listen, I love drag. I really do. It's a lot of fun. And, it's a love-hate relationship. But so I do want everybody to experience that and have fun. But not everybody can be a star. Somebody needs to bring me my lunch.
Would you rather have a sagging tit on your forehead or a landing strip of pubic hair on your face? So now, did you actually get your name because you love the whole beat poetry movement? Like
yes,
with Kerouac and Ginsberg and the
well,
whole
I mean,
thing?
again, I've told this story a million times, but I went to I used to be a serious poet and artist and photographer. And
with the finger snapping?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I would go to these poetry readings, these open mic nights once a week, and they never let me. I would sign up and they would never let me. They would never get to me because all these famous people had to go first. Ali Sheedy and Robert Downey Jr. when he was, still high as a kite and pissing in a potted palm in the corner. So I got really mad one week and I did full beatnik drag. And I wrote this poem that was like a beat poem, but it was really stand-up comedy. And it was kind of like just ripping the whole thing a new asshole. Not only would they not let me read my poetry, they wouldn't even let me in the door because it was that outrageous. So I went to Rage, which became Heart, which is now something else. And it was like an open mic night. And the woman standing at the door when I signed up for the contest, she had a clipboard and she's like, "What's your name?" And I didn't have one. And I was thinking of Jack Kerouac and Jackie Kennedy and the Beat Poets. And I just blurted out Jackie Beat.
I love that.
Oh, when I first saw her perform, she was always in black. The black.
The beret.
And it was like, more poetry than like singing parodies.
I love that. I love that so much.
And then the first parody I did, I think, was Vague.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
I remember.
And then the first parody you did was Korn.
That was one of the first ones.
One of the first ones.
Yeah. I was doing parodies before I ever did Sherry Vine. So I don't know if you know Robbie Daniels.
Yes, honey.
Robbie and
Jer
Bear Jones.
Jer Bear
The first
Jones,
time I lived
model
in
for
LA.
me.
So this like the late 80s.
Yes.
88, 89. We had a
Now we're in our late 80s.
I know. We had a group called the Skinny Boys, and we did shows and performed at like Club Fuck and Cinematic and all these places, out of drag and doing
art.
parodies.
The art. It was so artistic.
So I've done
Wait a minute,
parodies
the
like
Skinny Boys?
my whole life. That was the name.
How come I wasn't in it?
Well, now, you actually started doing parodies when you weren't accepted
In high
into
school.
Wizard of Oz. Because you
Yes,
wrote
so
like
she
a
did her
whole
research.
one-person Wizard of Oz.
Yes. It was my revenge parody.
Yes, I love that. So you all are just sitting at home constantly writing. You're just writing and writing and writing and creating.
Well, we come up
creating,
with
creating.
titles.
And then it goes
What's the
from
one
there.
thing we're working on? Should we pee on it?
Yes, please do. Tell us.
We're doing Ancient Greece, which is the 50th class reunion of Rydell High. So it's the movie Grease.
Shut up.
But she plays Sandy. I play Rizzo. Mario's going to play Danny
my
Zuko.
God.
We're the only 3 people still alive. And we're at the 50th class reunion.
Not even Frenchie? She's no longer alive?
There might be a small...
Trixie could come in as
Yes.
Frenchie, honey. Yes.
There might be a small stunt casting role where different people could play it.
Yes.
But... she's going to have like the Carol Burnett birdseed boobies down to her knees.
be
But still wearing that
Such a good
outfit
idea, right?
from the last, the black spandex pants.
I just love it. Ancient Greece.
Oh my God, I love that ancient
There was
Greece.
a time, and I mean, not as much right now because we both do so many other things, but when we first started hanging out together and in LA and doing
Is Ancient Greece going to be a big hit?
Let's ask the transvestigation.
Go ahead.
we used to do every single day we were working on some new show. And so it's like now you kind of create a show and you do it for a year. But there was a time when we were doing a new show every month.
No, it's
we were
amazing.
so bored.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
When your brain works and you can memorize stuff.
when all that happens. No, it's amazing. I mean, the artistry behind your drag, that's what I'm such, you all know that I'm such huge fans of yours, but like it really is. It captures like the whole theater of it, Right. And I love that your background is in theater and all of us are huge Carol Burnett fans. I mean, we all,
Honey.
So of course that's going to like carry over.
That's the
and
number
stuff.
one inspiration for me was Carol Burnett.
Yeah, absolutely. Mrs. O'Wiggins, you are so Mrs. O'Wiggins, honey.
Did you see that I did her?
She is, and what? Oh, on the
Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
What did Carol say?
Well,
I'm sorry, Ms. Burnett.
I had just done it with Alexis Michelle. We were Patsy and Adina.
Yes.
And Edwina. And we were leaving and they're mentioning, Carol Burnett's here next week. And I'm like, what? You have to have me back. I'm like, well, we just had you. We can't have you back. I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Please. And they're like, okay. And they sent a list of characters to choose from. And I was like, I hate to be that person, but I can't believe you don't have Mrs. O'Wiggins on this list.
They didn't have her on the list?
And I said,
What was on the list?
it was like
Eunice.
Scarlett
O'Hara,
O'Hara, that one, and
Eunice.
and I was like, and they're like, okay. And let me tell you, I was so obsessed with being authentic, that I had someone do the hair. I got the outfit, like everything was perfect. And the one thing I couldn't find were these pink button earrings.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, we could do. I'm like, no, there's no plan B. They have to be pink button. And I'm walking all over New York, searching. And I walk by Party City, and I was like, all right, it can't hurt to look. And I go in, and they had this giant gumball machine with these giant pink gumballs. And I was like, I want to turn those into, cut it in half, glued it on my ear. But she gagged.
A constructive, creative queen.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
I
amazing.
walked in doing the nails with the walk,
I
and she
love
could not
that.
stop laughing.
Oh, my
And then she was the
God.
first one to text me after, just like, nailed it. And I was like,
Back off. I didn't even
But-
get to see that. I'm going to go watch it immediately.
Didn't she
That's
say
amazing.
you did it better than I did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To hear Carol Burnett say that?
yeah. And she was everything you would want, because then after the show, she just like hugged. And I remember my parents watching it because they knew how obsessed I was with her growing up.
Yes.
And both my parents were just like, that's
Legendary. That is
Yeah.
so amazing. I'm so glad you got that moment.
me too.
I'm so glad you got that moment.
That's similar to when Nancy Allen was a special guest on Dr. Jackie, Unlicensed Psychotherapist, and ended up dumping pig's blood over my head.
exactly.
Like, I can die now.
Yeah.
totally.
Oh my God.
And the sense of humor for her to just be like, okay.
Oh, she said, I haven't done anything on camera in over 10 years. I'm only doing this because I love you. And the
love that.
14-year-old kid in me was like,
Yeah.
when I saw Carrie in the movie theater and it changed my
your
life. I mean, a true obsession.
Yeah.
To think that, like, I can text Nancy Allen and she's coming to my house to do a photo shoot in
Yeah.
my Carrie room. Like,
It's amazing.
I'm like,
In your
what
Carrie
is
room,
it
she has
so
a
weird?
whole room devoted just to Carrie.
Yeah.
Like the bread spread, everything. The
It's
curtain,
so
everything.
weird.
Bread spread.
The bread spread.
Bread
the bread. The charcuterie board is
It
scary.
is weird when that happens. That happened with Debbie Harry because she was such a part of New York nightlife.
Yeah.
She would go out and
Well,
come
her
to
and Miss
shows,
Guy are
and
like,
Miss Guy
yeah.
are like best friends. So we would go to lunch with Debbie Harry,
Yeah.
and there you'd just be fine and normal, and then walking away, I'd just be like, my wall was covered with pictures of
Isn't
her,
that
and now I'm like
wild?
having Cuban food with Debbie Harry. It's
But
so
I mean,
bizarre.
that's the way it should be. I mean, it should be
Or
that way.
like
you know?
we're out to lunch with Parker Posey.
Yes.
And especially in the 90s or early 2000s. I mean, she's back because of White Lotus. Not
Right.
that she ever went
so
anywhere.
Naomi.
Yeah.
I know.
But
Honey, I was clock
You're at lunch.
watchers. I mean, I was
yeah,
from day one.
You're at lunch and you're just like, oh my God, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Queens would burst into tears.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you don't understand.
How much I love you.
It's
I was one of those queens at your holiday show at Casita del Campo, and I'm sitting there with my friend Susan waiting for the show to start. And then here comes Parker Posey into Jackie Beats' holiday show, which I'm gagging. And with Parker Posey is Liza fucking Minnelli at Jackie Beats' show.
Did
And
you
I'm
die?
sitting like 2 chairs
In the
down with
basement
Parker
of a
Posey
Mexican
in the
restaurant.
basement of a Mexican
I
restaurant.
say it all the time.
I'm
A
like,
drag queen
what?
walking out and seeing Liza Minnelli sitting in the audience is like a priest walking out to give a sermon and there's Jesus.
Yes.
Bet everyone was like on pins and needles.
Oh, we were all.
I
didn't know who to watch.
do you
I was like, I
remember?
want to watch Jackie, but I want to see Liza's reaction to Jackie.
Do you remember this? I had a big neon sign on stage that said Jackie. And it was
Yes.
on, and
With
I
the
told a
cursive.
tasteless joke, and it sputtered and turned off. It was planned. And I said, oh my gosh, I think I've finally gone too far. God is offended, and that's a sign that I am too dirty and too nasty. And at the end of the show, I did this big thing where I said, you know what? I think if there is a God, he wants us to laugh. And, he has a dirty sense of humor and it built up to this thing. And then the sign came back on and Liza stood up all alone
And
was
started
like, yes!
clapping. Yes.
Yes.
I remember that.
But everybody was walking on eggshells thinking like, is Jackie going to like call her out?
Yeah.
And I went out into the audience and I stood right next to her and I was making fun of people and asking people what they did for a living and, doing my usual. And you could just cut it with a knife. Like, is she going to go there? And I just ignored her. And I said, oh, you guys, I want to tell you a quick story. A friend of mine went to one of these drag shows. You know what a drag show is, where the fellas dress up like ladies. I know. I don't get it either. But it turns out one of the drag queens was doing me. And you know what they say? Once the drag queens start doing you, you've made it. And I look right at Liza and I go, you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, do you? And she just about fell off the chair.
It was such a moment. It was perfect. The way you handled it was perfect. I mean, that was insane. That was absolutely insane to have her there.
I love to reenact entire shows.
Would you rather have teeth as eyelashes or eyelashes as teeth?
Teeth?
What?
Teeth as eyelashes or eyelashes as teeth?
Teeth as eyelashes.
Or eyelashes as teeth?
No, I wouldn't be able to eat anything if my teeth were eyelashes.
Well, you don't eat
eat.
anyway.
Drink your fucking smoothie.
You don't fucking eat anyway.
It's not body shaming if the person's skinny.
These two, I've had the luxury of working with these two recently on the Golden Girls Live. I played Rose. I'm
Rose
kidding.
is not,
It is the most
the hardest,
challenging role.
and
to
you
play.
You were
nailed it.
hilarious.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
We
It was
didn't
so
kick
much
you.
fun. Well, I had a blast. I fucking had a blast. Your freaking Blanche is so on point. I mean, your Dorothy is too, but this
No, but
Blanche,
it's really-
it really is so on point. But when you play Julia Sugarbaker in Designing Women, that was my cup of tea because I watched Designing Women more than I watched Golden Girls.
Yeah, because you're a little younger.
I'm a little Southern too. But then when you do Blanche as Julia Sugarbaker doing The Lights Went Out in Georgia, you're getting all 3 layers.
Yeah, we did a clip show, which was
Yes.
Sherry's idea, and I was always like, I don't think people are going to enjoy a clip show. They want a beginning, a middle, and an
No,
end.
that's my
And
favorite
she
one to
kept
do.
saying, no, this way
Yes.
we can do these scenes. for episodes that have like 17 people that we
Right.
can never do the whole episode.
Exactly.
So I said, okay. So I sat down and I kind of, a tsunami's coming and we're going to reminisce before we die. And we did, condoms, Rose, condoms, and all our favorite scenes. And then we did a second one. And I was like, what if out of nowhere, one of the clips was from Designing Women. And I was like, I think the audience will just lose their shit.
Oh my God.
And they do.
They do every night.
'Cause it's
Every
like
single
near
time
the-
we performed this.
It was near the end of the show, and it's like, oh my God, that is, what a great twist.
And I love when the audience joins in too on every
so
Oh
single
my God.
word.
And that's the night the lights went
went
out
out
in
in
Georgia.
And scene, which leads us to Battle of the Bitches. We're going to play a game here.
Okay.
So here we go. Number 1, who takes longer to get ready?
Oh, me.
Jackie.
My favorite thing is I said, oh my God, look at this box of free makeup Trixie sent me. And she's like, how come nobody sends me free makeup? And I'm like, wear some.
Wear some.
She's a natural beauty.
Well, here's the thing. We could take closer to the same amount of time, but I start early enough to be done in time.
There you go. Time management, running with time.
Time management, iconic, legendary face.
Girl, do you remember this
horrible.
picture? I remember this being so legendary, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen it before. God damn it, where is it? Oh, here it is. Remember when you did that at the World
Oh,
of
yeah.
Wonder party?
Oh, yeah.
And we'll put a picture of it on the thing. She did half face in drag and then half with a beard. And there
And
you are with RuPaul.
There's literally hair on my cleavage, like on one.
hair on half of a side. That picture was legendary.
Yeah.
Like I remember that was
That
the
was-
World of Wonder party.
I think that was the first season of Drag Race. They had an
Isn't
after
that
party.
wild?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, what is this story? Is it true that the Transvestigation Unit at the Kelly Mantle Show wants to know, is it true that you came up with the name and the idea, but you didn't copyright it? with
Well, me
WGA?
and a very good friend of mine, Kate Flannery, who plays
Yes, we
the
love
drunk
Kate.
Meredith on The Office. We were in Valley of the Dolls together. So she kind of she always called herself like, I'm a drag queen.
Adjacent.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So she was the straight girl, I was the drag queen, and we came up with this idea called Drag Race,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a competition reality series. The difference is ours was like Top Model, where they would live together and you would see all that ugliness and family
Mm-hmm.
love. And we were pitching, I have to find it. It's in a box somewhere. We registered it with the Writers Guild, and I have, an official document.
Oh,
that
so you
says-
did register it? with
Yeah.
them.
And we were pitching it around town, and then all of a sudden I heard that RuPaul was doing it, and I said, I'm not delusional. She's a bigger star than me, and if you're going to come up with a reality series about drag queens, you're probably going to call it Drag Race. So I never thought that I was ripped off, but
Right.
I honestly don't remember who we pitched it to and who we didn't.
Wow. Who is more particular about the lighting and their looks? Further
I mean,
discussion.
I like to be lit, of course, but in a meet and greet, I'm more just like, let's get the fuck through this. And
Yeah.
she's like, wait, do you give me your phone? Turn the flash on. I'm like, who
Oh
gives a
my
fuck?
God. We were at Casita del Campo, and this guy was taking pictures, and I said, can you please put the flash on? And he just
Yes.
ignored me. And finally I said, can you put the fucking flash on? And he goes, I just won an Emmy for set design. And I said, when you win one for lighting, get back to me. No, it's just the difference between like a flash and no flash is like ancient man.
And it only takes 2
woman.
seconds
I
to
know, I
do.
know.
Yeah.
I just kind of get more like, and I don't mean to suggest that I'm like, let's get through this because I hate doing meet and greet. I don't mind it at all. I
Sherry?
meant that I don't.
Sherry, the real you's coming out.
I don't mind. Like, just
Okay.
take the photo. It don't have to be.
What's the next question?
What was the biggest fight you ever got into?
I'm Italian, so I don't remember fights. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. Was it recently? Was that the
I think
biggest?
one of the biggest we had was where I literally in my head was like, I know I'll never talk to her again. Was over the sofa.
Over the
Oh yeah.
Oh, when you all were you were deciding whether to use the sofa for Golden Girls?
No.
She wanted to store it in my
We had
garage.
nowhere to First of all, thank God it wasn't at Muffy's house.
I know, it'd be gone.
Her house burned down.
I know.
But someone in the other room just laughed.
I know.
Okay.
Diabolical.
Gay people are garbage.
Horrible.
No, so anyway, she has a garage and I didn't have room for it. And the person who usually stored it, anyway, I just thought she was just being, her anal retentive, power hungry self.
So how long did you all go without speaking?
Oh, girl, a day.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I mean...
Which leads me to the next question. Who is the first to say sorry?
We have been friends long enough that we can literally say the most horrible things to each other. And then...
like, do your fucking job, Sherry.
Right? And then an hour later be like, where do you want to go to lunch?
I love it.
We were on a cruise ship and
oh my God.
I gave them the wrong track. And I was trying to sing it.
So
I was trying to sing it and I was like, well... So I go, stop it. And I go to walk through the crowd to the sound booth. And I think she's going to like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're having, like say something. But she was kind of like taken aback and she didn't say anything. So I had the mic and I just go, Sherry, do your fucking job. But it was like in, not even Jackie Beat voice.
It wasn't even.
It was
like there's a difference.
Because I was like a deer in the headlights because I was like, what's going on? And then when she said that, I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, let's talk about doing our job. Who gave the sound guy the wrong track?
That is one of my biggest flaws. Is if anything goes wrong on stage,
blame someone else.
Blame it on someone else.
I just panic.
Remember when you thought I was saying the wrong line in the Golden Girls, but it was reality you.
But it usually was you.
No, it was you this time. And then she started going off on, well, she went home first on Drag Race. And this went down this whole totem pole of failures I've had in my life. I'm like, oh, but you got the line wrong.
But we said horrible things to each other over this fight over this.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Horrible. And I hung up, and literally in my mind was like, I'll never talk to her again. And then she called back immediately and was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
I love that. That is so
I mean,
cute.
you also just have to kind of laugh. Like, this is about a fucking rattan love seat that we dress up like old ladies to sit on. Like, come on, get over yourself.
Really funny, real short story that was hilarious. We're traveling somewhere, and we went to get her car at the airport, and she's driving me home.
It's the oxy.
And she's like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, da, da. And then she cut me off, blah, 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 blah. Well, da, da, blah, 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 blah. And then she looks at me, she's like, can you finish a fucking sentence? What's wrong with you? And I, at the top of my lungs, scream, if you could shut the fuck up for 30 seconds. And we just bust out laughing. Like, it was just, she looked at me like, oh.
And then sometimes when we do Battle of the Bitches or a duet show, I just have to be careful not to steamroll.
We have a safe word.
I will just talk and talk and talk, and she can't get a word in edgewise. Once I kept making jokes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yes.
I was making jokes about how you're not funny and like no one likes you and when the show is killing and it's a great audience, nothing.
Roll with that.
It's fine.
Right.
But afterwards she was furious. And she's like, it really was a bad show. They were not liking me. They were, and so it just is not the same.
Yeah, so we have a safe word.
Yeah.
What's the safe word?
I can't remember, but we come up with one.
Oh,
well,
you
you
just come
kind of
up
have
with a new
to
one
know
each time.
Now I'm like, please, we've done this for so long where I could just be like, get lost, get off, beat it, get the fuck off stage, turn your mic off.
Which one of you is Lucille and which one of you is Ethel?
Oh, I'm totally Ethel.
Lucy.
Yeah.
So
that reminds me of something. In Theater Couture, I played her next door neighbor, like her maid, like all of these, Ethel Mertz parts.
And you were always the glamorous lady.
Yes, the glamorous, leggy, blonde star of the show. And then
my God.
I wrote some show, and your part, it was kind of flopped. And she's like, I'm not going to play your sidekick. And I was like, you fucking bitch. I literally played your housekeeper.
For how many years?
Yes.
You will play my sidekick whether you like it or not.
I'll play your
Here's the plot
sidekick.
twist. We hate each other. No.
Would you rather give up the internet for the rest of your life or give up sex for the rest of your life?
Bye, internet. Although I need the internet to get sex. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Sophie's choice.
We're going to have to go back to circling around the Yukon Mining Company. I love that Sherry and I have been big whores for years. I love your this documentary that you did with John Mark recently. I hope it comes out soon.
To Sex and Drag.
Yeah, it's so good. It's all about your sexcapades in ditches in New York City with Puerto Rican drug dealers.
Well,
and I think it's
about
amazing.
straight identifying men who want to have sex with drag queens.
Or that too. And I love that Jackie is finally finding her renaissance, her sexual renaissance.
You want to hear about how good of a sister I am?
Girl.
You tell it.
Tell me.
Okay, we were in Tel Aviv of all places, and there is a hookup app that she's on 24/7. You know, you hear that ding-a-ling whenever,
Is that what that just was?
Whenever there's a ding that she wants to ling.
I'm like, without a knee?
So we were, and she was like, you need to just like have a little fun. And I was like, that's so not me. And she's like, you're on the other side of the world. Nobody cares. Have fun. These guys are gorgeous. And I was like, it's not my thing. She goes, what about this guy? And I was like, how do I do this? She puts it on my phone, and
I did everything. I set up her profile. I did everything.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we did like the film festival, and we came back and stayed in drag. And I was talking to this guy, and he was literally the most gorgeous man I've ever seen in my life. And then I was like, we were texting, and I said, oh, he said like he can't do it now. And she's like, send me his picture. And I sent it, and she's like, oh, he's coming to my room. And I was like, oh, really? That's how this, like, that was weird. So then she told him, I don't feel good. And he texted me and came to my room.
You did that for her. You gave up some Tel Aviv D.
Yeah. And then, girl, when he left.
created a monster.
When he left, I heard ding-a-ling. Some other guy I was talking to said, I'm here. What room is it? So I had to fix my lipstick.
Oh, my God.
And then this guy was, and he didn't even knock on the door. He walks up and he's like, "Rrr!"
Now, do we get a different Jackie beat when you're with the boys?
Sometimes if it's after a show, I mean, I don't want to like, you can kind of tell if I'm.
Yeah.
If you go to my show and I'm like all beautiful, it's like, oh, she's got it.
She's got it going on.
But sometimes I'll just be like, warning, I just did a show, and usually they love it.
But it's like we talk about it in the doc, but it was like kind of like created this monster now. But it's like we're 60-year-old men, and to go on Grindr, I'd be there all day. I'm like the crypt keeper, and so it's like you go on this app, and we're the unicorns.
And I used to think to myself, this is pathetic. I have to be in full drag. And I'm like, no. This is how you feel most beautiful. This is how you feel most powerful. This is what they love.
Yes.
And we just
Would you rather stick your hand in a bag of infested needles or have someone spit in your mouth?
Girl, spit in my mouth is a Saturday night.
Oh my God, they're whores.
Is my uncle in town?
Yes. One more question. I gotta know this.
God.
I gotta know this.
No,
I want to know.
it's important.
I
And
want
do
to
not
know.
edit this out. The fucking producer,
Screaming.
John Mark,
Wants to end it.
hates us.
Hates you.
Screaming, end it!
End it now.
Because he's worked with both of you.
I just want to come out of the closet right now. Actually, both Sherry and I are flat earthers.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you QAnons?
No.
Just flat earthers.
I mean, one is based in science, and we saw, a documentary, and it just makes sense. And I was embarrassed to bring it up, and then when I did, she was like, "Me too," and we really bonded over that.
I mean, it kind of makes sense looking at the two of you.
It's a lie. We're just going to use it as a clip to get people to watch the show. It's a lie. The Earth is round.
They're
like me.
really closeted lesbians.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Have you all ever kai-kai'd?
God, no.
Come on,
I
I want
have
to see
kai-kai'd
it.
with a lot of queens, but not.
You
No,
have?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Usually not with each other. It usually involves another
Just
person.
like one's on the head and one's on the balls. Oh my God, he's
I'm
literally mad.
angry.
Drag
Oh my God.
Association.
Your producer is an
I'm telling you, they're
asshole.
really rude to us here at the Kelly Mantle Show. They're very demanding. All right, Drag Association with Jacqueline Beat and Sherilyn Vine. Here we go. Charles Bush.
Genius.
Male actress, legendary icon.
Ain't it the truth? I have been in Red Scare on Sunset, Vampire Lesbians of Sodom, Lady in Question. I have been in every single one of his plays.
He came to a theater couture show.
Yes.
And came up to me after the show with a Horrors of Atlantis book signed and literally said something along those lines of like passing the torch.
I love that.
Like, okay.
I love that. I just saw he posted they're going to do like some revival of Vampire Lesbians with like the original cast or something. It's gonna be incredible. Hedda Lettuce.
Green.
Why did I see her?
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Well, I say it like a white lady.
Now, do you all
No.
love performing in Puerto Vallarta?
I love it. It's my
Don't
happy
you?
place.
It is.
It really
is
is.
such a happy place.
I've had some fun with Tammy Brown down there.
Come on, Tammy Brown.
She's sitting on the couch over there.
Is
Can
she
I say
really?
that?
Is she
Yes,
here?
I keep looking over at her.
Tammy, come say hi at the
Wow.
end of this. I'm a lady.
You know
Hedda
what?
Lettuce is hilarious.
whoa,
Here's the thing.
whoa.
She's not, I mean, and I say this, well, I don't care, but she's not the warmest.
Really?
She's not like one of those queens that wants to hang out with the other queens. But
Yeah.
when I see her, we laugh and have a good time. And I went to see her show last year in Puerto Vallarta and laughed my butt off. Like, I forgot how funny she is.
She really is funny. We did
yeah.
that stand-up comedy special together through Logo. You and Coco and I think Barla did the first one.
Yeah.
And and then it was me, Bianca Del Rio, Hedda Lettuce, and Harmonica Sunbeam did the second version of it in New York. I know, isn't she hilarious? Love Harmonica Sunbeam. Here's one for you. Her name is Willem.
Outrageous.
Extra.
Extra.
Her look on your podcast was just
So good.
everything. I was like,
So good.
where is she thinking? Like, what is she doing? What is she thinking?
She's
and I
not.
love it.
And that's what I love about
And you know,
it.
she's actually so kind. I've filmed so many things in her
Honey.
studio, and she's always like, "What do you need? What do you want?"
Yeah.
She's great.
She is such a giver in so many ways, really.
No, she really is. She's a total sweetheart. And when I first met her, I didn't like her.
I know
I
you
think I
didn't.
told her.
You told me
She
many
said
times that you
something,
didn't like
and
her.
she claims that I looked her right in the eye and said, like, I don't like you. But she was trying too hard. It's like, girl.
Derek Barry.
I have a funny story about it. I love Derek Barry.
Oh, please tell it, because I couldn't care less. I'm sorry. I'm not like.
She's so
Listen, no, let me
sweet.
say one
She
thing.
really does
No.
an amazing Britney.
Yes, but let
I
me
hope you're getting a
explain.
close-up on Jackie's face every time I
Let
say
me
someone's
explain why I respond this way. I don't want to see the real Britney.
Miss Richfield, 1982.
Clown.
She gets brought up here on the show all the time because she has a cease and desist against Tammy Brown. Isn't that right, Tammy?
Does she
Tammy,
really?
No.
come here. Yes.
Oh, I want that story.
Wait a minute. Does she really?
Yes, Tammy, come tell the story. Come here on camera and tell Miss Richfield,
Oh, I wanna hear that
1982. Huh? Come here. Yes. Come say hi.
I'm Team Tammy. Sorry.
And the final drag association, RuPaul.
Oh, I have a new nickname for her.
What?
Roberta Frack. Killing me softly with your drill. Killing me softly. I'm just kidding. I love Rue.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Beats. If you haven't already, go to Out TV, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and watch Dr. Jackie with Jackie Beat. She has, 3 seasons on there? 2 seasons?
2.
2 seasons. Amazing. Tammy Brown and I were on the first season. And Sherry Vine is also in that, and one of the producers. And then Sherry Vine, the Sherry Vine Variety Show, which I also got to be in.
Yeah, and
with,
Jackie's in every episode.
In every episode. And The Exorcist with Alaska was amazing. Kill Bill, Kill Jill with Bianca Del Rio. Myself was in that.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. So go check that out. What music are you all listening to now?
To be honest, and I don't even like saying this, I actually have really just gotten into Sabrina Carpenter because I felt that my
Really?
new show needed something super contemporary.
Okay.
And I wrote a parody to Please, Please, Please called Knees, Knees, Knees about my new knee.
Always on the cusp. You always have your thumb and your finger on the pulse
I
of
try.
the here
but it
and
would
now.
certainly not be what I would listen to at home.
No. What would you listen to at home?
Oh, honey, I'm old school rock, like Ramones, Susie Sue. Like,
Susie, honey.
I love Susie.
I do not have my finger on the pulse of anything except a throbbing. You know, I get bitter when that big vein running down the length of their dick is bigger than my dick. Anyway, no, let me just say TMI, TMJ. Let me just say I am intermittent fasting, so I wake up around 9 and I can't eat until noon. So I have been listening to my mom's record collection that she left me when she passed away. My sister Vicky sent it to me. So I've been listening to a lot of Cher, Edie Gourmet, Vicky Carr, Edith Piaf, even.
I love
and
that.
The Fifth Dimension. Diana Ross, Lady Sings the Blues. So that's what I grew up on.
I love that.
And it makes me feel like I'm,
nostalgic
with my mom.
Your mom
John
and I
Mark's
had the
gonna
same
unplug
birthday.
the lights.
July 9th?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Your mom and I had the same birthday.
That's amazing.
I know, because she was coming through just now, so I wanted to let you know that she told me we have the same birthday.
She was incredible.
Yeah.
And Sherry's mom, who is still with us.
Yes.
Is
incredible.
Incredible.
And my parents were both incredible. My daddy,
See?
high school football
This is
coach.
what
Very
happens.
lucky,
This
very
is what
lucky.
This is what happens.
Love your children unconditionally, as every parent should for their child.
Yep.
Because my parents certainly didn't know jack shit about any queer journey or anything, but they found out real quick
Yeah.
when they realized that their
Mine
child
actually
was-
did.
Yeah, you were very. Your parents had like a gay best. Their
best friends were a gay couple.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love you all so much.
I love you, Kelly.
Oh, I
You
love
all
you
are so
too.
amazing. So, what shows do you have coming up next? Where can people find you? Like, we need to tell them, but just in case.
I am leaving on May 16th to start a tour all over Europe and then the United States for the whole year.
On your
of my
brand new
brand
knee.
new show. In Europe, it's called Comedy Couture, but here in the United States, it's called The Second to Last Showgirl. I just didn't know if they would get that in parts of Europe, so that's why there's two names. But all new.
Love that. Go check it out at where? SherryVine.com?
SherryVine.com, because it's going everywhere.
Okay.
I'm not performing very much. I've been writing for a lot of other people, and which is nice because you can sit in bed with your dogs in your underwear and just write and make money. And Sherry and I don't know, when you go out of town, what's going to happen. But we've been doing the Golden Girls brunch.
September.
Oh, at Precinct.
Yeah. at
Yes,
Precinct.
go check that out for
Yeah,
sure.
It's really a lot
How
of
is
fun.
Angelo?
Oh, he's my dog. He's wonderful.
Oh, I love that.
I'm so glad
I love that. Well, go find Sherry, Vine, and Jackie Beat online and go see their shows. As you know, they are absolutely incredible, and I am honored to have these legends and icons truly on the Kelly Mantle Show inside the Kelly Mantle Studio. And stick around for more because we're going to play some games called Save a Celebrity for the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Kelly Mantle, and we will see you next week when our guest will be. Thank you. Good night.